am going to read Mark, my grandson's portion of the program. Don't think that I'm trying to be in control because I'm doing everything, but the people didn't show up. Okay? Chris Johnson, who is my son, lived a vibrant life, earning a Bachelor of Business degree from the University of New Mexico in 1997. He touched the lives of many through his kindness, culinary skills, and supportive presence. In June of 2011, at the age of 38, and in apparent good health, he received a devastating diagnosis of renal medullary carcinoma, better known as RMC. Despite the challenges of the disease, Chris remained steadfast in his fight against cancer for 15 months. Throughout his battle, he expressed a desire to establish a foundation focused on raising awareness about RMC, educating communities about sickle cell trait, and supporting research at UTMB Anderson Cancer Center. Sadly, my son passed away on September 20th, 2012, with me by his side. I fulfilled his vision as his mother by founding the Chris C.J. Johnson Foundation, ensuring that Chris's legacy lives on. The Chris C.J. Johnson Foundation was incorporated in November of 2012 in loving memory of Chris, who passed away, as I mentioned before, from complications of renal medullary carcinoma in the same year. Our organization, headquartered in Sugar Land, Texas, received its 501c3 public charity designation in April of 2013. Our mission is to foster a global community dedicated to supporting individuals diagnosed with RMC and addressing health disparities through heightened awareness, education, and research initiatives. Ultimately, all individuals diagnosed with RMC will have access to institutions that are leaders in cutting-edge research. Our primary focus is raising awareness and providing support for individuals with sickle hemoglobinopathies, such as sickle cell trait, who may be at risk for RMC. We offer programs that educate, build awareness, and promote advocacy, resulting in a greater public understanding. Collaborating with community-based organizations, we amplify our voice to affect meaningful change. Enhanced awareness can empower individuals to first know their sickle cell status and subsequently understand the importance of seeking early diagnostic testing. Let us unite in our collective efforts to raise awareness, promote education, and drive research forward. Together, we can ensure that no one faces the dire consequences of RMC without the support and resources needed for a fighting chance at survival. The time for change is now. I would like at this time to introduce our board members. I'm going to start from the bottom and work up. We have Alexa Jett, who's from Palestine, Texas. Come on up, Alexa. Clarissa Moran, who's not here, from New Jersey. Curtis Treat, from Sugar Land, Texas. Rex Everett is not here with us, nor is Angela Hawks Johnson. Mark Johnson, Executive Director. He's the man on the barbecue head. I got a little excited. And then, of course, me, Richie. Our medical advisor, Dr. Tannir. Come on up, Dr. Tannir. Don't be shy so they can see you. And Dr. Pavlos Msaouel. These are two remarkable young men that spend so much time. And then you will get an opportunity to hear an update from them shortly. But let's give everyone a round of applause. All right, we now have, this is my granddaughter, Chris's daughter, Gabrielle Hayward-Johnson. Gabrielle was 6 years old when Chris passed. She's now a beautiful 17-year-old teenager that still listens to her grandma.
Good morning, everyone. I first and foremost want to give a huge thank you to everyone that has put their time into making this event happen. Like my grandmother just said, I'm Gabrielle Hayward-Johnson. Chris Johnson is my father. My dad passed away from RMC in September 2012, just 3 weeks after my 6th birthday. My grandmother, Richie Johnson, asked me to speak today about the impact that my dad's death has had on me, specifically my personal journey with grief. Also, I wanted to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned that may potentially help others cope through their own grief as well. As I said, I was only 6 years old whenever my dad passed away. Being so young, I couldn't fully grasp the concept of death. I wasn't even able to tie my own shoes. How could I understand what death was? Eventually, I came to understand that I wasn't going to be able to see my dad again. I wouldn't be able to hug him, and I wouldn't be able to see him. And I would never be able to eat his chicken wings again, which was the worst part. I still didn't understand why my dad had to go away. I became ashamed because my dad was gone. Everyone told me it wasn't my fault, and everyone told me how much he loved me, and that he didn't want to go away, but I wasn't certain that they were telling me the truth. I felt like I was the only kid in the world without a dad. I didn't want people to know that my dad had died. I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted to ignore it and pretend that it never happened, and I didn't want to be different. I was angry about it. As I grew up, I was finally able to understand that my dad loved me. He really didn't want to leave me, and that the reason he was gone wasn't my fault, and it wasn't his fault either. However, he was still gone. But there was a sense of comfort in knowing that it wasn't my fault, and it wasn't his. So, what have I learned about coping with my grief that has helped me keep moving forward and be optimistic about the future? Number 1, it's all about time. 2, find your purpose to keep moving forward. And 3, showing people that you care about, that you love them while they're still here. It's all about time. The perception of time isn't steady and constant. When you're young, an hour seems like an eternity, and as you age, weeks and months seem to go in the blink of an eye. When you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, it also seems to slow time down, and days begin to blur together. The best thing to do is take time away from your grief and find something to distract yourself when you feel yourself stuck in that grief and feeling time starting to slow down. Allow yourself to keep living, because that's what that person would want you to do. The grief will still be there. And eventually, over time, it will allow you to work through that and process it, and the pain won't hurt as much. Second, finding a purpose to keep moving forward. Being consumed by grief won't bring your loved ones back. Although it hurts, that is the truth. You still have a purpose for being on this earth. Especially in my case, I have my whole life ahead of me. Even if you're older, there's still so many people in this world that need you, and you can still accomplish so many things. As I said before, you have to allow yourself to keep living. And lastly, spend time with those that you love. Make sure that you tell them and make sure that they know how important they are to you in your life while you and they are still living. You don't want to have any regrets or guilt because you potentially held a grudge or spent time criticizing or being angry with a loved one. Because when they're gone, you can't go back. Like I said, the perception of time isn't constant, but time is. It doesn't stop, and you can't reverse it. So make all of the memories good while you can. I hope the experiences may be useful to some of you, and I hope that the advice that I've given could also help some of you as well. I thank you for listening to me and thank all of you for coming.
Okay, now we will have Dr. Msaouel and Dr. Tannir to give us an update on REMC. Great job, Gabby. Let's give her a hand of applause.
Thank you all for coming. Richie, thank you for referring to me as a young man. You know, you heard, she said 2 young men, so thank you. First time I get called. But seriously, thank you for coming. And we've been doing this every year now. This is the 11th year. And you see, look around you, the movement is growing. Thanks to all of your compassion, passion, determination, motivation, and purpose. I think Gab said it really well. Many of you heard me say this before, but I think it is really worth repeating, especially for those of you who are new here to the movement, who are joining, how this started and how we are part of the movement that Richie, thank you Richie for starting this foundation to honor the legacy of Chris. It was September 2012. I've had the honor of taking care of Chris during his battle and journey of 15 months with RMC. So I was visiting him the last time, he got hospitalized at MD Anderson in September 2012. I was visiting him in the room, and I went there to hold his hand, and obviously the heavy heart, and as I walked into the room to tell him what we really hate to tell patients when there's not much we can do. But I had to be honest with him, and so I went there and I said, Chris, I'm really sorry, but there is really not much we can offer anymore. He's been through chemotherapy and radiation and all those things. And, Chris responded, what do you mean there is nothing you can offer me? And, you are MD Anderson, and I have a 6-year-old daughter. I want to see her grow up. And so I think those words were really a point in time and the moment, in my opinion, that was the turning point, how we, through loss, through adversity, through pain, we can transform, we can hope for a future. And those words really are etched in my brain till today, and will always, even as I contemplate retiring, and pass the torch to Pavlos, I will never will forget those words and that, conversation in Chris's room. But as I left the room, I said, we can't, if we can't do it, who's going to do it? We are MD Anderson, and we have to do something about this. Just to give you a context, back then, in 2012 and before, we used to see maybe 1 patient or 2 patients a year with RMC. There was really nothing anywhere in the world about, the disease, the understanding, the insights of what is causing this and what can we do about it. So moving forward, we decided to build a program around RMC, and we started collecting our data, and we started collecting tissue because really no major advances for therapy are possible unless you really do research. And to do research, you need to start collecting the clinical data on patients, start collecting tissue, meaning, biopsies, nephrectomy specimens, and bring the team. And that's the main thing, bringing a team of scientists and researchers who would be interested in this disease, in cracking the mystery of this disease. And so we did that, and we launched the first trial in rare tumors, sarcomas, and RMC back in 2015. And when we opened the trial with an experimental drug that got later approved for a rare sarcoma type of malignancy, people didn't think that we will have enough patients. But in 6 months, we were able to enroll 9 patients. So just shows you that whenever you have something to offer to patients, people will come from all over the world. And so they came, as they say, build it and they'll come. But really, we made several observations about RMC, why in 3/4 of the patients it arises in the right kidney, why Zita, my 20-year assistant and partner, and a shout out to Zita because she has taken care of Chris with me, and many other patients with RMC and with kidney cancer in general. So, she remembers many of those patients, unfortunately, who passed away. But anyway, there was hope and excitement that we were able to at least launch a trial back in 2015. But the drug wasn't that effective, but we learned some from it. But really, it takes, as I say, a major event, a lightning strike to start things. And then that was in 2015, in July, when Pavlos walked into my clinic and said, they told me to work with you. You apparently have a good reputation with mentees, with fellows, and I'm interested in genitourinary oncology, and I want to, work with you. And I said, okay, great. What did you do in research before? He said, well, I was at Mayo Clinic doing research on prostate cancer. And I said, well, we're going to have to change now track, and it's going to be prostate cancer, it's going to be kidney cancer, and we have a big problem, and that's RMC. And you can make an impact that will change the world for not just RMC, but other rare tumors, because really RMC is the prototype, that poster child for these rare tumors where you could make big advances, discoveries that can inform and change the most common types of cancer, not just the rare ones. So many of us say there was RMC pre-Pavlos and RMC post-Pavlos. And so, and here is how it started with research. We published the first paper in 2017 when it took 11 institutions from 8 countries to have 52 patients when we first reported the clinical experience about RMC. But then since then, Pavlos, and the Anderson only, we have now 135 patients. Imagine, triple the number of patients in that. So, Pavlos has made some remarkable discoveries in RMC that are now actually are being applied with therapies to patients. So after the trial that I told you about many years ago, 2015, which was negative, we've really seen patients improve, and they are living longer. We still have a long way to go towards the cure, but there are patients now who are making it 5 years and 10 years. And I hope nobody will be left behind, that there will be a chance for cure for every patient. So I'm going to pass it to Pavlos to tell you about the exciting research we're doing at MD Anderson. Again, thank you very much for coming. God bless you.
Thank you, Nizar. And this is incredibly inspiring, incredibly motivating, and it is making a difference. You know, every year we discuss and say, hey, here is the new thing. We have new clinical trials, etc. And it is true, this year we will have the 4th clinical trial dedicated to RMC. This time, for the first time, it will include another rare cancer. Because that's the beauty, that light of the knowledge that we gain from RMC is helping people with rare and common cancers everywhere. And that's the beauty of it. And you know what else is also great to see? If you compare with last year, how many people with RMC or previously diagnosed with RMC are right now here with us? It's double the number. We know it because we take care of it. It is double the number. That is the impact of this. That is the impact of this foundation. Nizar said it. 135 people with RMC that came before, that participated in this research to help the current patients. And these are some of the faces are right here. If it weren't for this movement, if it weren't for these people participating in research, raising awareness, making a difference, I can tell you, many of the people with RMC around us today would not be here with us today. And some of them who are what we call disease-free, meaning for all we know they don't have cancer anymore, they wouldn't. They would still have cancer. They would probably have passed away from the cancer. That's the difference. That is the difference. And how do we do that? By building teams. We have Chad Tang here, one of our radiation oncologists, a pioneer. He is now the world's expert in using radiation therapy for RMC. That didn't exist before. Here he is with his family, joining the meeting. More to come. That's how we build the team. That's how we're heading towards eradicating this cruel cancer. And thank you again, Richie, for organizing this in the name of Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Msaouel. We need you and Dr. Tannir to stay here. This is Curtis Treat, our hardest raising fundraiser we have. I didn't want to take this microphone. Dr. Tannir and Dr. Msaouel, on behalf of the Chris Johnson Foundation, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to both of you and your esteemed team for spearheading a dedicated research program aimed at understanding and developing therapies for renal medullary carcinoma, known as RMC. The strides being made are truly encouraging, offering hope to patients diagnosed with this challenging disease. We firmly believe that every adolescent or young adult deserves the opportunity to lead a vibrant life with the best prospect for a bright future. Regrettably, many RMC patients confront health disparities stemming from persistent systematic injustices, which heighten their vulnerability to poor health outcomes and impede access to quality care. Equal treatment for all is paramount, and advocacy is imperative to effect meaningful change. Though Chris is no longer with us, his legacy endures through the Chris Johnson, C.J. Johnson Foundation. We remain steadfast in our mission to serve and empower patients diagnosed with RMC on a global scale. This year, through the generosity of our sponsors, we are honored to contribute $5,000 specifically towards advancing RMC research at UT MD Anderson Cancer Center. Once again,
Once again, thank you for your unwavering commitment and dedication to RMC research. We eagerly anticipate continued collaboration with you and your team as we strive to find a cure for this rare, aggressive, and often fatal kidney cancer. Respectfully yours, Richie W. Johnson, President and founder of RMC, of the Chris Johnson Foundation.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for this generosity. Again, we can't make advances without research, and research requires funding. So wonderful to really see this grassroots movement, contributing to our research. For those of you who may know, but some of you may not know, Gabrielle will be graduating in less than 2 months. That 6-year-old daughter, as Richie Grandma said, she's 17, but she is graduating from high school, and she is going to pursue a career in science. And I know Chris will be watching with pride when she gets on stage to get that diploma. So, congratulations.
Again, this is incredibly important, and we're very grateful for that. And it's not just about money. You can give money and they can go into a black hole and then being lost. But this actually counts, and we make sure it counts, and we're being held accountable to make sure it counts by improving the outcomes, by seeing every year how people are actually doing better, and we actually share the research supported by this funding to Richie. And in fact, Richie told me, what was it, a few months ago? I had no idea so much research, so many publications were being supported by the Chris Johnson Foundation. It is. And you know it, and you can share it with the world, how much this helps. Thank you, Richie, for this. Thank you.
It is our pleasure. Thank you. Today is another day. I didn't want to do this because I thought I was going to cry. I'm trying to hold on. Gabrielle, come forward. As you approach high school graduation in May, we wanted to take a moment to extend our heartfelt congratulations to you on this significant milestone. It is incredible to witness how far you have come, from the bright-eyed, inquisitive, and talkative young girl to the accomplished young lady you are today. Turn around and look at the people. Your journey, I know you love your grandma. Your journey has been marked by challenges, triumphs, but through it all, you have demonstrated remarkable strength, resilience, and determination. We know that this achievement is bittersweet, as your beloved father, Chris, isn't here in the physical to share in this momentous occasion. His presence may be missed, but his love, guidance, and unwavering belief in you continue to resonate deeply within your heart and soul. Chris's dream of seeing you graduate from high school may not have been fulfilled in the way he envisioned, but his spirit will undoubtedly be there with you as you walk across that stage. It's a testament to the enduring bond between father and his daughter. As you embark on this new chapter of your life, remember that you carry within you the legacy of your father's love and the lessons he imparted. Let his memory serve as a source of inspiration and motivation as you pursue your dreams and aspirations. May you continue to shine brightly, just as he knew you would. And may each step you take be guided by the love and wisdom he instilled in you. On behalf of the Chris C.J. Johnson Foundation, it is with immense pride and joy that we celebrate your high school graduation by providing you with a check for $5,000. Your achievements are a testament to your hard work, dedication, and perseverance, and we have no doubt that you will continue to accomplish great things in the future. Congratulations once again, Gabrielle, on this remarkable achievement. Okay, I can't do no more. Eric, we're going to give out the first, second, and third place. Mr. Eric has agreed. This is my other son, y'all. I got sons all over the place. You know, I look back, I was telling everybody, I'm 73 years old. Where's my mama? She's 98 years old. Look at her over there. Mama haven't missed a beat. I just hope I live as long as she does. But at this point, I'm going next. But we're so happy to have her out here, and I'm just so proud of her. And she is spoiled and a well-kept woman. Okay, so now we're going to do the first, second, and third place winners.
In the male group, 17 and above, first place goes to Yanni with a time of 17:32. In second place with a time of 19:11, Keith Aldridge. And for third place with a time of 19:34, Dr. Cursor. Now with the women group, 17 and above, first place goes to, with a time of 24:29, Susan Petter. Second place with a time of 28:40 goes to Janet Ty. 28:49, with a time of 28:49. All right, now for the teenagers from the age of 11 to 16, we're going to start with third place with a time of 46:58, Blair Davis. And second place with a time of 24:40, Emily. And first place with a time of 22:39, Julian Petter. That's first place.
Okay. All right, so now I'd like to introduce to you our REMC patients and families that have joined us today. All right, we have Heather Williams from Marshville, North Carolina. Can you come up front, Heather? We have, did Pamela Barr show up? Julia Hayes from Fishers, Indiana. And then we have Andre Sneed from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Then we have Brian Azuti from Houston, Texas. I told you he had his cheering squad here with us today. Did Gregory Gray make it? Gregory Gray. Elvoice McCain from Cypress, Texas. And then we want to bring up Jesus and Blair. They'll tell a brief story, but we lost Karen last year, and we want to recognize them as well. Come on up. All right, let's start over here with Miss Julia. Would you like to say something? Yes, you do. This is a beautiful young lady. I don't know why she has this cap on her head, except it's cold out here. But she looks great, doesn't she? Give her a round of applause. Yes, she does. I love you.
I don't know what to say. I'm just thankful to be here. This is my first time to Houston, and I got to meet Dr. Msaouel yesterday. He's been working with me from afar for over a year now, and I'm just very grateful and thankful to meet him in person. To know that there's this many people cheering for us. So thank you.
Daddy Ron,
have a lot to say, but I'm not going to say anything now. This event was a dream of Julia months ago. She committed to be here, and she's here. And she just told me she wants to be here next year too.
And she will.
This is Heather. Heather took a while to reach out to me, but I'm so glad she did. This is her baby, Indy, and she has a beautiful story to tell you.
I'm not a public speaker, so y'all bear with me. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. A year and a half ago, I had no clue that MD Anderson existed. I had no clue that this cancer existed, and most people don't until you're the one affected with it. January of 2023, I found out I had cancer. 13 days later, I went to have my kidney removed, and I was told I was pregnant. We were not planning to have a baby that soon, but God knew what he was doing. At the time in Charlotte, no one knew how to treat this cancer, and I was told to abort my baby if I wanted to live. It's not something that I could ever do. I prayed, and I prayed really hard, and God led me to Katie Coleman, who led me to Dr. Msaouel, who helped save my baby. And I also want to give a shout out to his wife, who helped come up with the treatment plan for my baby. She's the first baby in the world recorded to be born from an RMC patient. And today I give all of my credit to God and Dr. Msaouel and also Dr. King, he's done wonderful things for RMC, and I'm just so thankful to be here with you all. I've never met an RMC patient until today, and it makes you feel a lot less alone being here. And when we walked up, my baby started laughing. She knew that she was in the land of her people, and she just started smiling. I'm so thankful to be here with you all, and next year, hopefully I'll be in remission, and I plan to run that race with all of you.
Next we have my son, my other son. Told you I had a bunch. This is Andre Sneed. We met, how long ago now? 2019? Since 2019, we've walked this journey together. I'm just so happy. I'm not going to take his thunder. But doggone it, he's cancer free, y'all.
It's a blessing to be here, giving honor to God. About 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with RMC. 3 letters, I never wanted to hear. I remember the oncologist coming into my room, my hospital room, and I asked him, I said, well, what's my prognosis, doctor? Because I'm thinking, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to get through this journey. He said, Andre, get your affairs in order. He said, you approximately have about 4 months to live. And I remember my sister being in the room with me. We prayed. We prayed, and I was in Maryland at the time, and I remember two social workers came to my room and told me about a guy that got treated at MD Anderson. So I said, I told I was in the military at the time. I told him, hey, I need to go down to MD Anderson where they specialize in this type of cancer, and I got treated by Dr. Msaouel here. I met Richie about 3 months after my diagnosis, and learned about the Chris Johnson Foundation and what they do here to raise awareness for RMC, and man, that just gave me so much hope, so much determination to beat this thing. By October 2020, I was disease free. So I've been in pretty much remission right now for about going on 4 years. So. I'm thankful for Ms. Richie and his foundation and everything that we do here, because we do directly impact lives, and I'm a living testimony to that. So thank you all.
Thank you, Andre. And Andre is also a moderator for our Renal Medullary Carcinoma support group that meet monthly on Tuesday, and then also we've extended to a Saturday support group, basically because we have people in Greece and UK, and we're trying to meet their needs. So we're just happy to be a global organization, and it was Andre that wanted the support group, and we just made sure to carry it out. Thank you, Andre. Now we have Jesus and his daughter Blair. They'll have a story to share with you as well.
Thanks, Richard.
Karen Davis is Jesus' wife and Blair's daughter. And it's a little difficult. Karen died the latter part of last year, or in fact the summer of last year. She was diagnosed with RMC under the direction of Dr. Tannir. Karen lived 5 years. So it's still a little bit hard for them, and I certainly understand. But they just wanted to come out and be with you guys and feel the love today. Thank you. I had the pleasure of also walking that journey with Karen for 5 years. And it was just a blessing. She was a sweet soul. And while fighting this disease herself, she was also trying to help others. So just a beautiful person. Once again, gone too soon. And I think Blair can identify, and Gab, can you come give some support to Blair? Where are you, Gab? Gabrielle? And now, I have another son. His name is Brian. I had the pleasure of meeting Brian. Brian was just like Andre. Can you believe Andre was shy? And Brian was the same way. And I can understand, because that part of your journey is difficult. And you sort of want to keep it to yourself because you're in disbelief. But once you become cancer-free, you're ready to tell the world about all the great things that God has done for them. So I introduced to you Brian. And now, so you come up with your husband. This lady was the voice for Brian.
I'm not really one for speeches either. It was 3 years ago that I was diagnosed with cancer. At first, I was told that it was clear cell carcinoma, and I thought it was a normal cancer and I'd be okay. And I found this out like probably 3 days before my birthday. But come to find out, it was RMC. I didn't really know what RMC was. I just knew that she didn't want to have it. When I found out it was RMC, I pretty much thought it was a wrap. I pretty much told myself I had a good run. I was almost 40, and I was okay. The only thing I was sad for was the fact that I got married the year before and I'd be leaving my family and my new wife by herself. But with the help of my wife, she's the one who found Richie Johnson. She's the one who helped me get into MD Anderson and find Dr. Msaouel. And through many bouts of radiation with Dr. Tang, chemotherapy with Dr. Msaouel and his team, I could stand here today, almost 3 years later, with no evidence of disease. And I just want to thank everyone. I wouldn't be here without Dr. Msaouel, Dr. Tang, Dr. Tannir, and your whole team. My wife for finding Richie, and the whole RMT team, my family and friends for being my support. It's kind of surreal to think that one day you're thinking that you may not be here anymore, and you're here 3 years later, and you're free of cancer. I can't thank everyone enough, and I want to thank you all for coming out here. And now that I'm here and I'm cancer-free, I hope to remain cancer-free, but I'm going to dedicate myself to spreading the word of RMC to anyone I can. So I just want to thank you all for that, and thank you.
I just want to say thank you to friends and family that came out to support Brian. Yes, my husband's cancer-free. He's dead, but I love everyone in this community, and there's people that we met along the way, like Andre, who kept us going. I think I text him often, just asking him how to help Brian while he was going through the journey, things he could tell me to help. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is along this journey, because it's so helpful to Brian's friends that are here. When people go through cancer, there's times that people